Hello there. Welcome to another talk. Another podcast meditation. It's kind of like a radio show in a way, I suppose. But today's talk is called What is the Ether? Probably a little bit avant-garde for some, or many maybe. But the very eager to say it, ether is the subconscious reality. There's a conscious reality and a subconscious reality. And you could say the ether would have existed before a Big Bang. So it's like this infinite reality underneath, something that appears to not begin yet. And the ether is basically, it's the subconscious reality. The shadow, people talk about shadow work, it's the same thing, it's the ether. And this subconscious ether, subconscious reality, is responsible for everything in our reality. And what we're seeing on the planet at this time is two different types of ethers. We're seeing an unconscious ether. See, I define people in two groups. It's those that, you've heard of 144,000 chosen ones, those that have had these massive, unexpected, mind explosion spiritual awakenings. And then you get everyone else. Now, the new earth is those that are spiritually awakening right now. The old earth is those that aren't having anything like that. The rest of the ones that aren't spiritually awakening, they haven't healed their issues. They are what I would call Decepticons. A Decepticon is a person who's very deceptive, because they're channeling the they're channeling this ether I'm talking about, this unconscious reality. But everything's unconscious. The new earth is like a more lighter subconscious reality. This also is what happens when people die. It's only the subconscious that's left, because you're in the dream world now, and that manifests your next experience. That's like the bridge, if you like, to the next plane. And so the ether is like a subconscious reality. Imagine the clouds in the sky are our subconscious. Like there's consider it like a collective subconscious reality, and that is responsible for our conscious experience. And like I say, it's split into two just now. You've got the one spiritually awakening, the chosen ones. The Dolores Cannon called the waves of volunteers, which she said started in 1952. They are star seeds, she claimed, from all over, and the reason they were born in this time frame from 1952 up to now is because of the mass awakening. And so it's basically about creating a different type of ether, and that's the new earth, you see. And so it really is within us that is responsible. It's so easy to see that our subconscious mind, our psyche, is responsible for our reality. And that's how sometimes you might think negative thoughts about someone, and you might not think that's you, but it is subconsciously, right? You're just not aware of it. And so yeah, so that's what the ether is. I also, if you look up Nikola Tesla, he also believed in the ether. You know, some, I know not all scientists do. It's just another name for what's really going on. It's all determined from our subconscious minds, and all life has a subconscious, right? And so what's happened just now with the mass awakening, there's a deprogramming and a reprogramming. Our true self is just a state of absolute love, absolute bliss. Like David Icke says, infinite love is the only truth, everything else is an illusion. But if you've heard of tantric energy, energy orgasms, you know, that is related to who we truly are. And so the awakenings that's happened on the planet is just turning those people into what we truly are. And so basically it's about creating a new type of ether, which is going to send out a more heart-based kind of reality. You see? And if you go a little bit deeper to that, you know, it's actually all one. In the negative reality, the ones that are asleep, you know, if they're not there, then they don't complement, then there's no complement thing for the people that are spiritually awakening. So it's a bit like, you know, the night and the stars, and you need the subconscious to feed the conscious. It's this dualistic thing that's constantly going on. And it needs to be that way because it complements each other when it's that way. You see? You know, ultimately it's all one, but the duality makes it fun, and it means that we can really grow as separate entities, even though it's one. So that's the point of separation. You see? And that's the whole reason why you know you're not just going to be just in the subconscious, because you need the conscious also. You need the dual. That's the whole point, like of a twin flame situation. You know, if they're one soul, why separate them? Because it's fun to do so. And plus consciousness itself can really develop. And so basically it means it's all a play. And the ether plays a part in that. You know, and so I believe when someone has depression, when someone's spiritually awakening, you know, what's actually happened is you're actually channeling the ether. And in that ether is the subconscious reality of all the people that are depressed around the world and all the problems in the world. And in spiritual awakening, at the age of 24, 10 years ago, I'm 34 now, all of a sudden, you're open to everything. You're open to this ether. And that's how you're getting floods of information now, because you're tapping into the ether. And ultimately, you're going beyond that, you're going right into the core, the source. You see? And that's why it appears like it's a journey that you're on, because source can't give you all at once. You know, because it would be too much. And that's the point of having chosen ones, is because it's a process. You know, you can't just go straight to the point, because people aren't ready for that yet. And so yeah, that regarding the ether, that's what it is. It's the subconscious reality. And right now on the planet, that subconscious ether reality is evolving. And that's why we're seeing all these physical changes in the reality, because it's frequencies changing in accordance to the ether. And the ether's changing because of all the healing that's going on. Therefore, the physical reality is changing. It's a bit like a time machine movie or Back to the Future. It's, you know, because I like that movies. And in the movies, the scientists are saying, if we change this in this reality, then that timeline will change. And that's kind of like what's happening with the mass awakening, you see. And the whole point of this mass awakening is so that we are is so that we make earth like heaven, where we live by the law of one. If you don't know what the law of one is, basically it is like it sounds. The law of one is just identifying yourself as one consciousness, and that's what we are anyway. We're not the labels, the names. It's just one infinite consciousness, infinite awareness, a state of being aware. And at its core, it's a blissful state, euphoric state. If you've ever taken the drug MDMA, it's similar to that. That's and obviously they don't want people to feel that, but you don't have to take a drug to feel that, because if you become the core of who you are, you're tapping into that, it's love. 5 to 8 hertz is the frequency of who we truly are. And so this is changing the ether, and so and it's just a play, as I've said. But I'm just going to leave it there. I just wanted to do a talk on the ether. I thought it was very important. I probably will do more. This is quite a new thing, but I'm just going to leave it there. For latest talks, my new talk will be uploaded soon. My new talk is always on my homepage on my website, and just underneath the song, it's got psychic reading. I'll do it. I'm probably going to do a reading tomorrow, and my latest song is always there as well. So, and my website address is www.lovelightfamily.com. Thank you for watching and listening. Thank you.